What's up, folks? I have been sick the last few days, so I haven't been doing any videos, but it's Monday. I'm feeling better. My voice is still a little bit croaky, so please, forgive me for that. But I'm back to do the third part of the trilogy. I'm doing Violet's Tale today. I know I've done some other Ren songs, but I wanted to wrap this one up. So we'll get to it in just a minute. Before I do, got my coffee, as always, and freshly painted nails. Look at that, so shiny. Hollow duochrome and sparkles. Very exciting. Before I get into it, a couple things. First of all, like and subscribe. I always appreciate that. I'm not a professional musician. I'm not a professional reviewer. This is just my opinion, so don't take it like the gospel. Or if you think that stuff is not very accurate, then take it as gospel. And don't be a dick. I try to be really thoughtful when I do these, and I would appreciate it if we could keep that energy in the comments. So with that out of the way, let's get right into it. This is Violet's Tale by Ren.
London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington is fighting just to stay alive. Rhythmic beats and bloodstains, she saw a lady weep. She's tired and frail. To set the scene, we must rewind the hands of time for Violet's Tale. Violet was a silent girl, grew up with violent starts. Her mother was a drinker and her father was a bastard. Every night he took her tie but never left the room. I'll spare you with the things he did, I'm sure her mother knew. Violet was a silent girl, she moved out at 16. A semi-detached council flat, paid for by a welfare scheme. Packing shelves at Tesco, stacking jars like pickled bricks. She met a boy named Stevie and he was a little prick. Violet was a silent girl and Violet she fell fast. See, Stevie was the wrong one, but he sure knew how to charm her. Every night he took her tight but never left the room. History repeats itself, he'd paint her black and blue and dark. She never stood a chance. The devil comes to dance. Violet, why are you always so quiet? On her bedroom door and he's irate. He's been drinking and smoking, he's up late. And he stands by her bedside, she shakes, but her eyes stay shut. You fucking slut, I know you're up. And he pinches her eyelids and folds them up. Violet, why are you lying to me, Violet? She stays silent, things turn violent. That's the sound of his fists when they fall like a crashing pilot. Hit like hailstones, one to the collarbone, full force, full blown, blood's black bone, crack, knick, knack, paddy whack, one to the jaw and the tooth spat, detached fist connects and disconnects a bone. A quick deflect to misdirect the blow, but nonetheless his punches met her throat. Such a mess he's left her bruised and broke. Violet, why you always so silent, Violet? Why you such a little liar, Violet? Do you think I wanna do this, Violet? In character, she stays silent. Well, say something, Violet. Silence. Fucking say something, Violet. Silence. Wait. Say something, Violet. Not one word. She stays quiet. London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington is fighting just to stay alive. The doctor, in a state of shock, saw something here so very wrong. See, Violet, she was pregnant. Poor Violet, she was 9 months gone. Turning to the doctor, Violet broke her silence and she cried, if I'm to die right here tonight, please let my baby stay alive. The doctor soon regained composure, called the surgeon to come in. As Violet's world turned to black, the curtains closed, the lights went dim. In London City, far from pretty, 2005. A lady down in Paddington just lost the fight to stay alive. A tragedy or a miracle, it happened on these very streets. Two twins aligned side by side. A girl named Jenny and a boy named Screech.
All right. So this wraps up the trilogy. And for those of us who started at Jenny's Tale, right, it all wraps it all up. This is not my favorite of the three, I would say. I do appreciate his expressiveness. He really does a great job of embodying the characters he's playing. Right, he really leans into the facial expressions and the mannerisms and the movements. That's really good. That's really, really solid. I've said this a bunch of times, but I really appreciate artists who take effort with their music videos, right? Who try to tell a story with the video. And Ren clearly is invested, right? Because the video itself is a way for him to tell the story. Right, he's both telling it with his guitar and his vocals, but he's also telling it through the way he contorts himself, right? The way he turns to look at the camera, that sort of stuff. The acting is quite good, right? Like that would be something that he might end up on stage or something if he is able to get healthy. Reminds me a bit, and this is a compliment, of Law Dispute, Rooms in the House, and also Wildlife, right? Because those albums were a collection of stories, right? Wildlife in particular was a collection of stories that the lead singer of Law Dispute was sort of retelling, right? Things he'd either heard or been told. Maybe it was a news story, maybe it was something somebody told him themselves. He was sharing those stories in musical, lyrical form, and sort of giving them different life. And that's how it feels. Now, this is all too neat, right? These are not true stories in and of themselves as much as they are representations of true things that happen, right? People get beat to death by abusive partners. Sometimes pregnant women get beat to death and their children survive. Sometimes you get stabbed by a 14-year-old on the street because he's desperate and doesn't really have, a way out that he can see. And those are societal failures. right? I mean, obviously, it's a personal failure to decide to knife somebody, but it's a societal failure that people end up feeling trapped like that. Not to philosophize too much, but in America, I don't know about Britain, but in America we spend $700 to $800 billion a year on our military, and we know, factually, because of internal audits, that somewhere around 10 to 15% of that budget just goes missing, like not wasted, like unaccounted for. And we're talking about something in the order of $100 billion that's just gone, right? Lost in the couch cushions. We could take that money, reinvest it in housing, mental health support, substance abuse support, the child welfare system, right? We could reinvest it in ways that would eliminate a lot of these sorts of problems, or eliminate maybe a little bit bold. Let's say severely mitigate, right? Because you could provide resources, you could provide food, you could provide housing, you could provide mental health counseling to people who need it, when they need it, not a month or 2 months from now. You could provide substance abuse help, or just safe sites for people to consume, right, if that's the direction that you end up going. Many of these problems could be mitigated if we were interested in solving them, but we're not. As far as parental abuse goes, that's more difficult to catch. Obviously, that would require child welfare, but that's a safety issue for a lot of people. It's complicated. I'm not going to say it's a good thing, because it's not, right? Don't take that away from this. I'm not saying it's complicated and so we shouldn't do anything about it. I'm saying it's complicated because if one parent knows that the other parent is being abusive and they report that parent like they should, it could get them killed, which, maybe you say you need to take that risk, but we could probably do better about taking care of the people who report the abuse. Puts a neat little bow on it at the end. She gave birth to twins. I'd have to go back and listen to Jenny. Because I know he said Screech was 14, so Jenny must have been 14, but I feel like she was older. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, I like the song. I still think this is not my favorite Ren track, but I do like how he put a bow on everything. And it's interesting. He seems to get permission to shoot in a lot of cool places. Like, I assume that was a hospital that he was shooting in, and then some alleyways. I'm sure he spent enough time in those hospital gowns to be pretty familiar with them. Let me think. See, for me, I just am not as big a fan of just spoken word over no music. And your mileage may vary, or your kilometerage, right? If you use the metric system, it doesn't appeal to me, because kind of my thought on that is, if I wanted to listen to just spoken word with no music, I would just go listen to poetry. And I understand, that's just my opinion. Other people may have very different opinions of the spoken word interlude, but I do like spoken word music. I really like bands like Me Without You and La Dispute. There's a new Death Cab for Cutie song that's spoken word that's really good. But I like to have the music along with it. That's just a preference. right? It's not right or wrong. It's not he did it right, he did it wrong, or I am right, right? It's just I like to have the music kind of going through at least almost the whole way. Every once in a while, you know, I like when there's like a 2 bars where the musical cut off and you'll just have the vocals. But for the most part, I want to have the music along with it because it helps to set the mood. Anyway, I think that's my 2 cents. Thank you guys for watching. My understanding is that Ren had a birthday recently, so happy birthday. Seems like the reaction to Illest of Our Time was pretty good, pretty positive, so happy for that. You know, like I said, whether or not this is you know, a life-changing song for me, I like Ren. I want to see him be successful, so happy to see that things are progressing on the music side. As far as the health side, you know, fingers crossed there. Just gotta hope that the new stuff works. But I will be around. I'll do more Ren in the future. We'll just see what comes next. I've had a few requests. I haven't made any decisions yet on what the next one will be. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. Stay safe out there. Drink lots of water. And don't talk to cops.